And when they unloaded them, that meant the what I downloaded wasn't going to work anymore. So made it kind of rough because it's sad because some of my best interviews, which I was able to download, were just hits. I mean, my interview with Bill DeMott, Dr. Death Steve Williams, God rest his soul, and Ted DiBiase were some of the best interviews of all time.
Ted DiBiase, of course, with his ministry, he would be someone to talk to about ministries, too, again, if you could ever get a hold of him. He's one of the more difficult people to get a hold of. I had a chance to interview him probably 4 or 5 years ago, I think, was the last time I interviewed him, and he's one of those harder people to just kind of pull out of the water.
Yeah, and even if he does, he seems to pull out unbeknown to you. I mean, I remember reminding J.J. Dillon of the interview we were supposed to do, and at the last minute, I told him I had to pull out of it, and I wound up calling Shane Douglas and Stan Hansen and telling them, because I had them over the next few weeks, that the interview had to be canceled, because that's when things were really starting to happen with the Casey Carnage crap, and I was also on the brighter side of things, getting the promotions on my job at the time. So I pretty much opted not to do wrestling anymore. Because that was happening. I was worn out, getting tired of the demand there, the demand to always have a guest on, the demand to do interviews with wrestlers, even if they're wrestlers on the independent circuit, always weighed out what you really wanted to do, talking wrestling.
Yeah, because you had to give so much time to those wrestlers to talk. That's the problem. They had to have so much time to allot to talk, and some of those wrestlers like Diamond Dallas Page can go on and on and on and on and on about the same stupid shit like yoga all the time. Like, it's ridiculous. The man can go 45 minutes just talking about yoga.
I mean, the guy answered a simple question, a question that was very simple to answer, was 15 minutes with him because he went into such dialogue. He was like J.J. Dillon, where that goes. I mean, and I love both guys. I would love to have interviewed J.J. Dillon, but unfortunately, I in the end made a choice, and that's, like I said, I opted to stick with the Wacko Weekly. I opted to stick with that and do away with the wrestling. Add in a midweek edition of the Wacko Weekly. Of course, later on, it would become what I do now is Wacko in the morning. And things really start to take off. Things really
and one thing I'm going to do for you,
successfully made that transition.
You did, and I'll tell you something else. You're going to get your theme remixed. You need an intro for that show really bad, so I'm going to remix the Wacko Weekly a little bit. I'm going to remix your intro for you. I'm going to put in some voice clips into your intro for you. I'm going to put in some celebrity sound bites into your intro. I'm going to give you a jingle so you can play it to promote your phone number. I'm going to give you a new graphic for your network. I'm going to do a lot of stuff for you, Bob. I'm going to remix your entire network for you. We're going to go to Wacko Network 2.0 in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that is ultimately what's happening now with this move with Mixler that's going on. So, for a lot of people, and we are slowly but surely running out of time, a lot of people, and I'll make the announcement now for even Blog Talk to hear too, is that on the 26th, which is in November, which is where Thanksgiving falls on, the Wacko Radio Network is making a move. Will be that'll officially be the last show over on Blog Talk Radio. So
you're leaving Blog Talk?
Yeah, I'm leaving Blog Talk. Going to be with Mixler, getting a Skype phone number. Yeah. So for a lot of people. And I know this may be shocking a lot of people that do listen to the show. We are making, especially over on Blog Talk, we are going to make the move and be a little more full-time over here on Mixler.
Yeah.
As people
It's
are
better for you
learning.
too because it's FM, like it's FM quality, like I mentioned earlier. Like it's it sounds a lot better, and like you can mix in YouTube stuff when you're talking to as references for conversation. So the quality is there with Mixler, and I can understand why you're doing it.
Yeah. Here's something that's said in the chat room: Toronto versus Chicago for the World Series. And here's one with Lisa. Bob, knock out that Bo Dallas. She says, knock out that Bo Dallas stuff out now. Knock it out.
The only way that's going to happen.
Now I'll
the only way that will happen.
Make you scream, Ohio, 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 and make you tap out to John Cena's STFU. Got it? Sorry for the curse word.
Okay, Bob.
You need some Bo Dallas motivation right now? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bo Dallas, the only way that'll happen is if the thing is with Bo Dallas is Bo Dallas can get over. I think that gimmick is so annoying that it fits into the category of Seth Rollins. And, if you give it time, like you did with Daniel Bryan, I mean, Daniel Bryan just blew up, but if you give Bo Dallas time, it's going to be awesome. Now, the only way to correct that for Lisa is if I go on YouTube and I tell WWE to stop pushing Bo Dallas, because over the last 6 months, everything I've said on YouTube is coming to fruition. They're pushing Alexis Bliss. They're keeping the title on Seth Rollins because they know it annoys me. And the Rusev thing, which I said that WWE were going to get rid of, is completely almost gone. So in order for this to happen, Lisa, I've got to get on YouTube and talk about Bo Dallas being killed off. And I don't know how other people feel about that. There's a very diverse response when it comes to Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know how many people have worn that you've seen in the arenas that have the Bo Leave T-shirts, and some of them even put up the signs. And that was while he was out with an injury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Jonathan.
Because they believe in the character. Oh, here we go.
Jonathan Clarke, you have been one of the best motivational influences we've ever heard. And you're looking for that change to turn the corner. And the corner is closer than you think. If you open up your eyes, you look, and you believe.
I wish I could open up my eyes. I have a stigma in my left eye, and my left or right eye. I can't remember which one. So I'm not that great with vision. So maybe Bo Dallas is on key with his promo this morning. I don't know, guys. I am so literally messed up. I've got a broken hand. I've got a stigma in one of my eyes. I've got, I'm falling apart. I am so screwed up, Bob.
I hear you. I definitely do hear you.
But I'm still kicking. As long as I still got a voice box, I will still be on this radio. I might have a broken hand. I might have had to have surgery, but I still can talk.
Yeah, Lisa goes on to say, don't forget, I'll make you scream, Ohio, as in Ohio State, Bob. Right, my little hurricane hussy.
Oh, my. Well, we certainly want to thank everybody for listening to the Wacko Network this morning. It was a pretty good show for some of the topics that were brought up with the racism issues, with the puppy story, which was a little bit too much for me to handle because I'm a really huge fan of animals and what they do for the world. So that kind of touched me in a lot of ways. I've always had a dog, or I've always had a cat. So that was kind of hard. We talked about a lot of stuff this morning. I want to thank everybody for listening. And guys, make sure you share the link. There's a Facebook box there. There's an email box. There's a Twitter box. There's even a Google Plus button there. Push the button. Push the button. And look us up on social media. Give us the support that we need. Push the button. It only takes a second.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's all it takes here. I will be a little more awake tomorrow. Next time I'm really feeling like this, I might just actually replay an old show. There are no show replays today at 11 o'clock. I do want to make that known that we are not going to be doing a replay. A possible show later on this afternoon, aside from the fact that Sean Stewart will be back on with the Sean Stewart Show, so people can check that one out.
Was that tonight?
Yep, that will be tonight.
Okay, I think that was the one you asked me to be on there the other night, wasn't it?
No, that was you were on Sonny Cruz's show. You haven't met Sean Stewart yet. He's going to be complaining today about the fact that Playboy is going to be doing things with significantly less nudity and not so full frontal anymore. So he'll be talking about that, possibly complaining about that.
The most attractive man has gone G now, so he can't appear on that show anymore. He's too fan friendly now, so he's sitting this one out.
So yeah, there you go. I mean, people don't know what's happening there yet. We are looking at a possible date. I don't know if we should talk about this one yet, Mr. Clarke, but
we probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't, yeah, because
you don't have to. Don't release it.
There is going to be a title switch coming very soon, a passing of the torch. That's all we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And people who have known and loved Jonathan Clarke for years are all going to want to be there for this one, because this one affects them too.
It does. It affects them, and the reason we're doing this is because that character has taken over the fucking world. And there's no beating around the bush about this, because this has gone too crazy. It's gotten to a point now where there are people from the Philippines, there are people from Florida, there are people from places I don't even know who are contacting me on Facebook, who are tweeting me on Twitter, who are blowing up my YouTube channel, who are just randomly adding me on Facebook, who believe in that character so much that we have to drop the character. That's the reason we're doing it. We're dropping that character completely, and I'm just coming back for 3-hour specials now. I'm still going to be doing my YouTube videos and stuff. I haven't done that character for years, but because that character has blown completely out of proportion, that's why we're taking him out. And he might come back for some specials down the road. It's not the end of the character entirely.